All right. I know that we started a little bit late, but that's okay. So, ironically enough, the name of this topic is "Get the Money, Chico." um, Question is, when will you take phone payments? Got to ask yourself that. And good morning to everybody else too as well. If you feel free to come off mute, you can always turn on your camera, come off mute. That's fine. Like this is that type of environment, so you're always welcome to chime in. Feel free to cut me off at any point. I'm okay with that. But the question is, when will you take phone payments? Obviously, you'll take them over the phone. You're not taking them with the in person with the Square or the PayPal card reader. There will be times when that is necessary, but because we are living in this modern environment, most of the time the payments will be automatically, they'll be electronic, they'll be over the phone. So I'll give you an example. If there's a technical issue, in other words, your website has failed. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when your website will crash or will go down. Excuse me, or some issue will happen. I'll edit that part out. Some issue will come up with your website. Stripe, PayPal, some connectivity issue, something. But probably more so is going to be out of convenience. So here's an example. When you use Sabrina, there's in the website that's supplied with Sabrina, there's an appointment type that comes already embedded. It's called a complimentary call. Not a free call, right? It's called a complimentary call. The complimentary call is a hot lead. The complimentary call is a red hot, fiery client. Somebody who goes to your, first of all, the only way they can get to a complimentary call is if they go to your website. They reach your website, they look at the options, cities, document types, and then they decide not to select any of those options, and instead they opt for a complimentary call or a phone consultation. They schedule that consultation for tomorrow. So if we forget about the technical issues, we think about convenience. Person schedules a call at 1:30 p.m. New appointment pops up on your schedule, and you see you have a new complimentary call from Alina. Alina, who is the executive assistant to the CEO of a clothing company. When you get on the phone with Alina, this is how the conversation goes. Good morning. My name is Jose, calling from ABC Notary, and I am calling to answer any questions about your notary request. And she says, "Hey, thank you, Jose, for calling. Uh, I see that I am able to schedule an appointment. I just want to make sure that I can schedule for 1:30. My CEO is going to be traveling out of the country, and they're going to be coming back. And we've got some Secretary of State business filings that she needs to sign. I just had a question about her name that's written on her ID. It's not the same name that's on the business filings. Her name is, Stephanie Smith, but that's her on her ID is Stephanie Joanne Smith. So I just want to know, will that be okay, or what type of other forms do I need to prove that she is actually the CEO of this company? And then Jose says, "Oh, so think about it. She's asking about identification. This is an identification question. You can answer the question appropriately. Yeah, we can handle it as long as her ID is not expired, as long as it's valid and she's willing to sign. Okay, great. Where will the appointment be? Oh, it'll be located in Miami. Okay. And Do you already have the forms, or will you provide those? Will you need us to provide those? Oh, no, no, we'll just download it. Is there anything else I need for the appointment? No, no, nothing else you need. If you have a passport, that will also be okay in terms of identifying her, because if it has her full name. Okay, great. I'll make sure that she brings up a passport. All right. And only thing left now is that we were thinking about what time were you thinking about scheduling an appointment? Oh, between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. All right, let me check. We got looks like we have a 1:30 available and also 2:15. It says 1:30 sounds okay. So here's the convenience part. Okay, well, you have two ways. The easy way, and you also have the fast way. The easiest way, I can just send you a confirmation link, and then when you have a second, you book the appointment. The fastest way is I could just do it now. Which option would this caller take in your mind? The easy way or the fast way?
It depends on the type of customer, though. Some customers don't want to give out their information, so they may want the link.
Yes.
Others, they may just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Some people, they don't want to give out the information. Yeah, they just do it over the phone. I think you'll see that with I don't know. I can't say if it would be like an older crowd you do that with, or a younger crowd. I don't know.
Anybody who's had identity theft or somebody who's tried to access their bank accounts, they may feel that way. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, if you had just some experience with some issue, yeah, you may not want to give it over the phone. So this is why it's so important to have some type of electronic payment gateway in place so that this person can continue the transaction. Now, in this example, um, taking the payment over the phone, if this has been completely foreign to you, if you've never done this before, you won't even offer it up. But having the being ready to take it, because here's the thing: if they're calling from a business line and you can't actually text them, then what's your other option?
Email?
Yeah, you can send them an email. Now, when you send an email, again, so this is where we talk about, do you look cheap, right? Do you actually look like you can command the $200 per signature? Because if you don't look like it, you won't, and you know that your time is worth $200 an hour, but are you presenting as that? So is your email branded? Is your email formatted? And is there a professional signature? Are there images that when this person opens, and this is an executive assistant of a CEO of a clothing company. So when you send this out and it's just, from a Yahoo account or from a Gmail account, and it's just a couple of different lines and it says pay here, you know, is that person going to have reservations? So these are things to think about. And you don't want to think about this at the time. This is stuff you want to already have, prepared. You want to have these, if you're going to offer that option, put this, there's really three options. There's a text, that's the fastest. There's the email, which is kind of a convenience technical issue. And then there's over the phone. So if you send a text, it just sends them to a calendar. Sends the email, it's the same thing, but there's a step before that. There's an email presentation, and then there's a button, and then it sends them to the calendar. And then you can just do it over the phone. So each step has its own sort of components that will either help you or can hurt you. But today we just have to happen to be talking about taking putting to the phone. In this example, it was more convenient for because of this. You already got them, and I know I can hear Tiger already saying, you got them on the phone. You should take the payment over the phone. There was a time where I didn't take payments over the phone. There was a time not that long ago, actually, too, maybe 2.5 years ago. where if somebody could not pay through the link or they couldn't pay through the email, I wouldn't take the appointment. It was probably more of an ego thing, but it was also more of well, it was almost more of a disqualification step as well. And it wasn't until I remember this. We were on the. I was taking a call, and Tiger was on the phone. He was like, "Hey, man," it was. I never forget. He was a Middle Eastern guy. He was it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was on a Saturday, and he was trying to get this appointment for one of his clients. He was like what do you call those? An accountant or a tax preparer, rather. He was a tax preparer, and he was trying to get an appointment for. He was trying to set up an appointment for his client, and he wanted to pay for the client because I said, "Well, are you the person who's securing the appointment?" And he says, "No, it's actually for my client, but I'll be the one paying for it." And I said, "Okay, I'll send you the link, and then you can, secure the appointment." And he says, "Okay, can I just do it over the phone?" And I said, and it kind of caught me off guard because I wasn't prepared. But after that day, actually, I did take the I that was the first time I took the payment over the phone. But at from that day on, it was all right. Be prepared to take appointments over the phone, take payment over the phone because it's convenient. It's more convenient for the client. So, how do you take payments over the phone? The repeat of the or confirmation of their details. All right, just confirm your name. Just confirm your email. This is the phone number that ends in 1234. Location of appointment 123 Main Street, Las Vegas, California, Las Vegas, Nevada. All right. And anything particular about the appointment? Oh, yeah. Well, there's a security gate outside. Yeah, we have guard dogs outside. Call when you get to the lobby. Okay, great. And oh, there's only street parking, no parking in the lot. Okay. We make sure to mention that to the notary. And then we'll take the 16-digit card number, security code, expiration date, and the zip code. And then you repeat those figures to them. So before you take payment, it's important to build up the value first. Because like Mariama mentioned, some people will not give their information over the phone. They just don't know you. They don't trust you. You're a stranger. They've never met you before. Would you give your information over the phone to somebody who you've just met? Likely not. So the first question that a lot of people will ask you is, how much do you charge? The first question right out their mouth. Oh, yeah, I'm calling to set up a notary appointment, or I want to see how much do you charge first. And then you tell them, yeah, I charge $25 for travel. I charge $2 for signature. We charge this and this, we charge that. But you haven't built up any value first. Anytime you tell somebody how much you charge and you haven't explained what they're paying for first, it don't matter what you say, they're always going to say that's too much, or they're going to think that's way too much because you haven't built up any value first. So somebody says, "Hey, how much do you charge?" Right? That's the first question that comes out of the mouth. How much do you charge? And I'm gonna show you what that sounds like too. If you tell them how much you charge, is there's no number low enough. Whatever you say is going to be wrong. Don't take it personal. Don't be offended. Just know you didn't build up any value first. So answering that question, how much do you charge? You should never. And I know people say never, but you should never answer that question. Even Sabrina doesn't answer that question. You ask how much she charge, she doesn't even answer the question. The question how much you charge should always be met back with a question. I'll give you an example. Oh, even after you built up value, right? And they still ask you how much do you charge, and you say, there's a number of ways you can answer that question, but I'll tell you this is the easy one right here, right? Oh, how much you charge? How much you charge? Well, do you need the appointment today? And then they'll say, no, I can do it tomorrow, right? Because they're instantly looking for a discount. How much do you charge? Oh, when do you need the appointment? Is it today or is it next week, right? You get a little bit more information. Again, you're going to build up more value. Oh, I actually need it as soon as possible. Okay. No, I can do it. Doesn't have to be today. Okay, well, when? Is it tomorrow or is it later this evening? The reason why you answer it in that way, I'm giving you kind of an abbreviated version, but the reason why you answer it in that manner is because how important is this? How urgent is this? All right. Well, if it's not that important, then it sounds like you're more flexible with your time. It sounds like you have to wait for, your husband or your wife to get off work. Okay. In that case, if you need it now, it's $1 million. But if you don't need it now and you're more flexible, you can wait until after 4:30. Then you can save about $900,000 and get it for, what I'm saying? Like you can play with the numbers all you want. But the reality is, okay, if you're more flexible with the time, then you can save about $50 and um, it's less. Okay. Do you already have the documents prepared? Like how much do you charge? Well, are the documents already prepared? You already have them in hand? Oh no, I have to go down to the FedEx store and print them out. Okay. All right. So there is a download box on our intake form. You can supply the documents in order to save you, like again, building up value. In order to save you a trip to the FedEx store, then we actually supply the documents up to 50 pages free of charge. Or we accept up to 3 PDF files. You can do this however you want, but you have to build up value first before you take the payment. Okay. Those are just examples. So another pearl of wisdom, repeat their name if possible. If somebody says their name, don't let that go by the wayside. Always repeat their name if you can. You'd be surprised how personable that is, but that kind of speaks for itself. It's almost obvious. But here's the thing: if somebody does say their name, you don't want to overdo it, and then it becomes obvious. It is best to avoid repeating what they say um, every time. Here's an example, and you may be guilty of this, and I certainly was. And you learn, all right. It sounds like you're not listening, all right, if you say this over and over and over again. So I'm gonna give you an example. So somebody says, "Hi, I'm trying to call for a notary appointment, and I live in Oakland, and I'm going to be traveling with my sons, and we just need to get a school letter notarized so that he can take some days off of vacation." And then you repeat everything. Oh, so you're traveling with your sons, and you're trying to get a school letter notarized so that you guys can travel. Oh, okay, okay. All right. One first time. How about the second time? And then you say, okay, what city do you live in? And you say, we live in Indiana or Indianapolis. And you say, oh, you live in Indianapolis, right? And then you say, okay, oh, where are you guys traveling to? Oh, we'll be traveling to Egypt. Oh, you're traveling to Egypt. You see, I'm repeating every single time. Here's a better way to do it. Instead of repeating what the person is every single time, just go to the next question. It's the reason why that's important is because number one, you are just the you're just a receptionist. I know that you're the owner, you're the CEO, you're the boss, but the client, the person on the phone doesn't need to know that. You have a big organization. You have a large, large organization. And this is something that we do on a daily basis. This isn't we're not a one man, one woman show. This is a big organization, and I'm on the phone. All I'm doing, my job in this organization is to just take appointments. So I'm taking you through an intake process. I'm taking you step by step through an intake process. Hey, so you're going to be traveling to We're going to be traveling to Egypt with my son. We just need a letter notarized so that he can get off school. Okay. What city is your appointment in? So instead of repeating, I'm just going to the next step. Oh yeah, the appointment's going to be in San Francisco. Okay, great. Are you confirming that you have a driver's license or passport, some expired type of identification? Yes. All right. And how many signatures on the document? You see how I didn't repeat? All I did was confirm, and then I moved to the next step. Okay. If you do it once, then it's fine, right? And some people do this naturally. Sometimes I like to say that you should call people and then listen to how they take phone calls. The best place to call sometimes is car dealerships. They do a good job of this, of doing intake calls. We're going to take some intake calls in a second. We're going to call some people up. Hopefully, you stick around. All right, laughter is a bonus. I always try to crack a joke. I always try to send. I say if you make them laugh, then you make a client. Um, I tell a lot of jokes in my phone calls, and they're very cheesy. Um, if you just say it, it's not funny, but in the context of a phone call, it's hilarious. It kills every single time. You may say to yourself, "Tech, I'm not naturally funny." People think I know my friends think I'm laugh. I joke around, but it's hard for me to have a sense of humor. That stuff. If you can get one smile out of a person, um, you're probably going to get that client. And I'll give you this one. So this is what this is in you if you've listened to the videos, you've seen me, you heard me say this hundreds of times, and it works every single time. So please use this, okay? And tell me if it works first. Person calls and they say, "Hi, I'm trying to looking for a notary," and they say, "Yeah, yeah, we sounds like we can help you. What city do you live in?" "Oh, I live in Seattle." "Okay, great. What type of ID do you have?" Um, they say, "Driver's license." Here's the joke. Again, you're not even going to laugh, but in the context of a conversation, it kills and it's funny every single time. They say driver's license, and then you say, "I'm going to deliver it just like I'm going to deliver it in character, so you can just say it just how I say it, and it works every time. I say it the same way every single time. All right, what type of ID do you have?" "I have a driver's license." "Oh, I'm happy you have that." You'd be surprised how many people are on the roads with expired licenses. So I'm happy you have that. That's the joke right there. It's not even funny, is it? You didn't even laugh. But in the context of that call, it kills because here's what's going to happen. The customer is going to say, they're going to agree with you. They're going to say, "Oh my God, you're right. Ha 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 ha. There's so many people on the roads right now with expired licenses, and I hope I don't crash into them." Right? It gives them an opportunity to be have a little back and forth banter right there. That little piece of a of a joke inserted, that will land you the appointment right there. Because the laughter, it calms the person down. They know that this is a serious um, call, and this appointment is not just for something that's um, not important. This is a significant call. So that little joke right there, I use it all the time, and it works. And there's other stuff that I would throw in. And then also, last thing is to end the call. That seems obvious, but it's important that you've reached the finish line. Unless you reach the finish line, you're going to be on the phone for a long, long, long time, going in circles, asking questions, confusing the client. You have to be able to reach the finish line. So after you've asked the three main questions, where are you, who's there, do you have ID? Transition into ending the call right there. We got enough information that we need. So here is the next step. So you're signaling to the person this is how this appointment is going to be conducted. If they have any questions, they'll ask them. But after you've asked your initial qualifying questions, where are you? Who's there? Do you have ID? Here's the next step. So you're telling the person, here's how we're going to conduct this appointment. We're going to send you a confirmation email. You're going to tell us your specific address, right? You're going to tell us exactly where you are and what time you want us to be there, and then you're going to pay for it. If you have any questions, you can always call us, or you can always respond to the email, or you can respond to the text message. We'll be happy to help you, right? But you're just always signal to the person that this concludes our conversation. Otherwise, you're going to be on the phone for 10 minutes at a time, 18 minutes. And then the longer you're on the phone, the less likely you're going to get this appointment. All right. Any questions or any comments? We're actually at the 9:30 mark right now. Any questions, any comments?